I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope.
We have all been involved in the journey of Red throughout his time in Shawshank Prison. We all ran along in the shoes of Forrest Gump. We get to understand Henry closely in Goodfellas. We get to see Travis Pickles in a psych and empathize with him all along in Taxi Driver. So what adds to these specific movies to be much more than what they really are? The voices narrating the stories on the screen adds an extra advantage of understanding these characters better and provides us their stories in their own voices, helping us to collect much needed information about them. Would it be same without the godly voiceover narration of Morgan Freeman talking in background about Andy, himself, and everything that happens in Shawshank Prison? The emotions are actually accentuated in the storytelling with that godly voice to just another level.
I think it would be fair to say I liked Andy from the start.
There are many ways of telling a story on screen. The narrative can take different form, like visual medium, in which the characters are interacting with each other with dialogues, or someone explaining the story to the audiences via a voiceover narration. Narration or voiceover is a technique used by filmmakers where a background voice is used to narrate or explain what's going on in the screens. Or in other words, we can say it is a liaison between the action on screen and the audiences. If used properly, voiceover narration can alleviate the storytelling, but can ruin the whole cinematic experience if used rampantly and ineffectively. But there always has this debate that the voiceover narration being sloppy and indirectly conflicting with the terms show don't tell. Now, show don't tell is a writing technique often used by writers, but also by screenwriters, which tells us that instead of telling us what's going on screen, we as viewers are supposed to perceive it by seeing and not by hearing, hence the term show don't tell. Film narration can become a tool which can alleviate a good movie to become great. The narration can come in directly from the central character, which can give us the character's psychology and to empathize with him and understand his motivation, or by supporting characters, which also equally help the viewers to understand his or her relationship, point of perception, or view towards the protagonist, revealing important information. The voiceover narration technique can give a personality to the story narrative. The narration can take form of monologue coming straight out of the central character, like in Forrest Gump.
Now, for some reason, I fit in the army like one of them round pegs. It's not really hard. You just make your bed real neat and remember to stand up straight and always answer every question with, "Yes, drill sergeant."
Or addressing directly in front of camera, also known as breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, hello. I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with pulverine.
Or in the form of a third person who has a no distant relation with the plot or story and is just there to address important points and notes about the story.
और फिर फाइनली ताऊ जी के मुंह से वो गोल्डन शब्द निकला जिसे सुनने के लिए हमारे कान पिछले 10 साल से तरस गए थे.
Even the narration can come from a perspective of an animal, which can tell important things about the story, like in Dil Dhadakne Do.
कहते हैं कुत्तों की नाक बड़ी तेज होती है, मगर खतरा सूंघने के मामले में इंसानों की नाक का भी जवाब नहीं.
But there always has been a debate about narration. Many filmmakers argue that voiceover narration is a shortcut technique to show what's going on screen in order to save valuable screen time and the cost involved in set design. Narration is a blatant exposition, doubting the potential of audiences on critical analysis by trying to spoon-feed them instead of letting the viewer choose how they understand and perceive the story. Also, narration limits the room for interpretation and limiting the judging capability of audiences. We are not completely indulged in the character's journey, but listening as a bystander, what is happening with his life as he narrates his tale in front of us.
And God help you if you use voiceover in your work, my friends. God help you. It's flaccid, sloppy writing. Any idiot can write voiceover narration to explain the thoughts of a character.
Now, if you ask me what I feel about the voiceover narration, I would say it is effective if used efficiently. Let's take an example. We all must have watched the Shawshank Redemption. If not, what are you waiting for? Now, in this scene, if we remove Morgan Freeman's voiceover, it's still effective. But not effective like this one.
I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope.
Also, here, Forrest narrating his story would lack that charm when we see his action on screen complemented by his own narration.
College ran by real fast because I played so much football. They even put me on a thing called the All-America team, where you get to meet the president.
Now, let's turn our heads into our Nepali movies. The major problem with voiceover narration in Nepali movies is its use. Nepali movie makers majorly use this voiceover narration during the starting of the movie or in the first act of exposition. Instead of introducing characters how they are with the help of the character setting, dialogues, or the interaction between each other, makers now choose to opt for the voiceover narration instead, which might make their work easy, but that's a lazy writing in terms of storytelling. Voiceover narration can be other dimension to enhance a movie's audiovisual potential, but overuse or misuse it and it can become a drag. Still, I don't have a problem with narration if they use this technique throughout the entire movie, making the narrative better, but the use of narration is only limited to small scenes, especially in its exposition part or during the introduction part of a movie, where the narration is used to introduce us with the characters and the setting.
पहिला पहिला यहाँका मानिसहरूको खल्तीमा 12 मास खडेरी लाग्थ्यो, तर अहिले यिनीहरूले बैंकमा एकाउन्ट मात्र होइन, महँगो मोबाइलमा फेसबुक एकाउन्ट पनि खोलेका छन्.
But there have been good narration in few movies like Loot, so let me explain about good narration and the bad one.
काठमाडौँ सहर हेर्दा लाग्छ रहर, साला गिड्दै गिड्डको सहर, दिमाग चला पैसा खर्च भरेर यो काठमाडौँ सहर हेर्दा लाग्छ रहर.
Here we can see Chakka Panja ranting about Kathmandu city and exposing his master plan, which help us the audiences to better understand this character's inner psyche, what are his motivation, his plans, what are his driving force, and what is this character's real goal and his desire to achieve that goal. Also, let's take another example of narration used as a bad exposition.
म भन्छु कुरो के हो, खासमा यिनीहरू दुवैजना पक्नुस् यो सबै कुराहरू बुझ्न तपाईहरु 1 महिना पछाडी जानुपर्ने हुन्छ. 1 महिना अगाडिसम्म न यिनीहरू एक अर्काका मित्र थिए न शत्रु नै, तर अब जे हुन्छ त्यसले यिनीहरूको जिन्दगीलाई सधैँको लागि बदलिदिनेछ. एकछिन यिनीहरूको कथा अझै राम्ररी बुझ्न तपाईहरुलाई अर्को एक दिन पछाडी जानुपर्ने हुन्छ.
This narration doesn't further tells us anything about the story, nor does it helps in story progression. This type of narration is completely useless. Does it tells us anything about the characters, their story, or their dreams? No. This is just used here to make the narrative cooler, as it has become a trend nowadays. There are many movies like Chakka Panja, Poi Paryo Kale, Prem Geet, and many more, which are just using this narrative technique to get away with the unnecessary information, which is no use for the character development nor the storytelling. Nepali movies doesn't use this technique effectively. I couldn't find any movies that uses the technique of narration extensively.
Uho Johhny आज जहाँ छ जे छ त्यसको हिस्ट्री
जसलाई उ माया गरेर भन्दा मामु भन्छ,
मामु यो पेस्ट के भएको
झोक चल्दा मामु भन्छ.
त्यसरी पुलपुले कि बिहानदेखि यत्तिकै
ओइ ओइ फिल्म सुरु भएको छैन मध्यन्तर लेखे कसले को जान्ने भएको डाइरेक्टर कि एडिटर
I just hope that someday our makers would just refrain from using this technique for the sake of explaining the exposition to the audiences, but as a tool to alleviate the storytelling. Thank you for watching the video. Kindly subscribe the channel if you like my content. I shall be posting similar video about Nepali movies and also world cinemas. I shall be back with my new videos soon. Till then, stay safe, stay home, and thank you for watching the video.